Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and I'm going to show you in this video what the top 5 most important creatures to have on Aberration are, and it's not really particularly close, and the number one thing is by far the most important tame in the entire map. So I'm going to go ahead and show you all of these things, starting from the 5th most important thing on our list, and that is the rock drake. Now, some people immediately be like, Teach, the rock drake is it's not the most important. It is a good tame, don't get me wrong. It has very good base stats when you tame them, don't get me wrong. But it is not the most important thing, because its one purpose really is to fly. Now, obviously that's something that people are going to question because it is currently broken as well, so you cannot fly. I know that if people didn't know this or not, but you can't actually fly with the rock drake right now on official servers or any server in general. You can fly on solo player, but they busted it so you can't actually fly. It kind of just does this, like, so on solo you can easily fly, but on official you have to. I don't know why they broke it, but they did. So yes, it is great for actually traveling around, but once you get to a level of having a tech suit, the rock drake is all but useless, because yes, it's got a tech suit as well, but it's not all that great for anything really. It's genuinely, it's outdone by the tech suit once you get to that stage in the game. And on Aberration, that's not too hard to get to because you can harvest element, and then the boss fight is super easy if you know the tricks for it. But rock drake is a good tame, and it's definitely in the top 5, but it is not our number 1. It is number 5 for a reason. Yes, it is very quick. It allows you to have access over the entire map, and it is an early to mid-game tame for sure. But once you have a tech suit, like I said, you kind of just don't need them anymore. They're just not super useful. Now, they can be used for raiding, but even then, there are better strategies. So it is a good tame, don't get me wrong, but not the best. So that is your 5th most important tame. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the 4th most important tame, and I have to go to a specific area to show you this. This is due to the fact that this guy is by far the most important grinding tame in the entire game. Let me introduce you to the Anky. Now, the aberrant Anky specifically is a super unique creature, and apparently I had a cooldown timer on that. That sucks. Didn't think about that. The aberrant Ankylosaurus is something that's incredibly important because it can gather resources at a stupid rate. Now, on this server, or I guess in general, the reason that this is such a valuable thing, let's go ahead and grab an Ankylo. So the Anky right here, you can see it. I'm just going to pull the saddle off the other one. It has by far the most valuable grinding tame value in the entire game. Now, this is the reason, right? So almost everything in this entire map is harvestable. Now, when I say harvestable, I mean that it's better than any other map in the entire game. Normal rocks seem to hit harder. You get more flint, you get more stone. Metal rocks exist all over the place. These small trees count as large or redwood trees, so you get a ridiculous amount of resources from them. And even just sitting still and harvesting like I'm doing right now will get you enough resources to power yourself, especially if you're on a solo player, for like a week. And I haven't even moved yet, and look at all the resources that I just got. I have almost 2 rows of flint, almost a row of metal, almost 2 rows of stone, thatch, wood, you name it. The Anky is your best friend. Now, if you didn't know that this is a thing, let's go ahead and type in infinite weight. I think that's going to apply to it, yeah. It also has a secondary attack that allows it to gather, you can see it, berries. So it is really one of those creatures that has an all-around use of everything in the game. Now, it also gathers literally everything that you need. So I can just sit over here, and obviously I just didn't try too hard, and look at all the berries I gathered. The Anky is the best grinder in the entire game, especially on this map, and it does a significant chunk of damage, which is very valuable. Obviously, a headshot to something will just one tap it right off the bat, and this one has, yeah, it's got 1200 melee, but you know, it is what it is. But it's a very valuable creature, and you should definitely have one almost immediately. It should be your first tame you go for, because whether you're in the very beginning of the game or the late game, Ankys are the best tame on this map. So definitely use them, because that is why it comes at number 4, because it can grind so very well. Now, coming in at number 3 is a creature that is a late game tame, but it is incredibly valuable. Now, I'm going to say 3, and some people are going to be like, well, why, Teach? Why would you rank it at number 3? This is the Reaper King. Now, the Reaper King can be kind of difficult to learn how to get them, but they are incredibly powerful. The Reaper King are basically the size of a Rex, maybe a little bit bigger, and they have the ability to left-click bite. They have an ability to shoot slowing goo, which is one of the big reasons they're ranked at number 3. They also have a C-spin attack that will send things flying. Now, if you don't like those as their attacks, they also have the ability to jump about 7 miles. Yup, they can jump, and they can jump a long ways. Now, yes, Pyromanes did get out of this map, but I'm not counting them as super valuable because I think that pretty much everything, they're probably 6, honestly. But a C-spin says bye-bye Pyromane. Especially because in the close quarters map that this is, the Reaper is a very, very valuable creature. Because it can jump, do damage, C-spin, and use this attack right here, it's very, very valuable. That attack, by the way, unless they've changed it, I haven't been over to test it on flyers yet, will knock flyers out of the sky, which is super cool because it does it's like a heat tracking kind of thing, so it helps you auto attack and locate to where someone's going to be. If you put the little reticle on them, it'll kind of track them. Now they can change their direction and it won't track them anymore, but it's a very, very useful tame. It's more of a mid to late game, obviously, because of the fact that you need to go get impregnated by one and it takes a little bit to raise. And the reason it's not higher on our list is because actually, when people know how to counter a Reaper, it's one of the weakest tames in the game, because as soon as light gets nearby the Reaper, it has this crazy effect, right? This like electricity effect on it. And that electricity effect means that it's got increased damage that it's going to take. And that increased damage is like 10x, basically. It takes a stupid amount of increased damage. So if someone knows how to counter it, they're just going to walk up to you on something, throw out some light grenades, throw out a light pet, or turn their light pet on, and your Reaper will get shredded. So pretty much it's more of just a, you know you have the advantage. If not, you're going to run with the Reaper just because that's kind of what Reapers are good for. Now, for solo player, it's just more of a fun tame than anything else. It's got a lot of movement, obviously, and it's very fast. But would I say that it's something that's the most broken? Absolutely not. It's a very popular tame, and they tank bullets very well because they have an inherent armor ability. So you can definitely utilize them to tank, but it's not required. But you can see that Nameless even spawned when I'm on top of this thing, and these things don't do an incredible amount of damage, so you can kind of just have a problem with that. So the Reaper is a sweet tame, but it's not in our top 2. Now, the reason that I'm going to tell you that it's not in our top 2 is because this next guy right here, let me introduce you to the Megalo. Now, the Megalo on this map is the king of the map, and the only reason it's not ranked number 1 is because it only has the purpose of just attacking. That's the Megalo's goal in life, to attack. That's it. That's what it knows how to do. That's what it's good at, and it knows its job. But when it comes to being the king of PvP and just in general damage on the map, nothing, and I repeat, nothing comes close to the Megalosaurus. Now, the Megalosaurus has incredibly buffed stats on this map. The reason that it does is because at nighttime, the Megalo basically gets 2x damage, 2x stats in general, and it doesn't have its sleepiness effect. So even without a light on, you can shred Nameless without much of a problem. This thing, if you do turn a light on, like I said, against a Reaper, a wild, good Megalo will easily take out a tamed Reaper. And if you have a bred Megalo that's a good bred Megalo, the Reaper won't even have it. I'm not sure you'll lose more than 10 health, maybe, if that. A Reaper will lose every day to a Megalosaurus, every single day, as long as you have a light turned on. If you have a light turned off, even then, a light turned off might be close. I've never actually tried going light turned off, but if you had a good Megalo with the light turned on, not even close. A Megalo will smoke a Rock Drake. A Megalo will smoke a Basilisk. A Megalo will smoke every creature in this entire map. Even though it seems a little bit weird because they're not the biggest creature, like a Giganotosaurus or a Giganotosaurus are good on other maps, not on this map. If it was nighttime, I'd be willing to put my money down on a good bred Megalo with capped stats versus a good Giganotosaurus with capped stats, because Megalos, obviously you're seeing me without imprint, without anything, I'm doing some stupid damage. Like, this is a wild, unleveled, yeah, it's got 800 melee, but that's not too far off from the official servers once people actually get these things ranked up. I'm telling you, some of these things have stupid melee. But Megalos are crazy because they get those boosts, plus they have the saddle, which the Reaper does not have, so it can take the increased damage reduction on that, and they can just shred everything without much of a problem. It'll one-tap just about everything in the game, and obviously you can see there's a Rock Drake, which are a little bit tanky, but a Megalo will just kiss it goodbye without much of a problem. So the Megalo is the king of damage on Aberration. You should definitely capitalize on using it. Now, the next thing that you need to know, and the only reason this guy ranks at #1, is Aberration is largely known as the grindiest map in the entire game. Let me introduce you to the Karkanos if you haven't met him already. The Karkanos is a I can't even come up fantastical. Yeah, we're gonna call it a fantastical tame. Because it's got a few special abilities. The Karkanos has a inherent reduction in damage taken from bullets. They can get to about 40,000 health, and this is unbred ones. These guys have incredible abilities, and I haven't even gone over them yet. So obviously they can walk over just about anything in the entire game because they have a higher center of gravity. So they can, unlike some creatures, they get stuck on things like the Megalos, which will get stuck on just about everything. This guy can walk over literally everything with all 8 of its legs. Now, it has a left click and a right click attack, and if you do both at the same time, it does a double smash, which is kind of cool. It also has a grab, which means that it can grab an Anky, and if you have 2 people, you can grab an Anky and harvest. Which means that with 2 people, you can just walk around this entire map, and someone's like, oh, Teach, well, you know, you have too much weight. There's actually a little bit of a trick. With an Anky, once it has too much weight, what you can do is you can hold C to throw the Anky, and this Karkanos can pick up anything, no matter how much weight it has on it. So you can just harvest an entire map worth of resources with no matter how much weight your Karkanos has. It doesn't matter because this guy can just pick up everything. Now, another cool thing about it is for raiding purposes, the Karkanos is one of still the most popular late game tames, because if I look up and launch, you can send things into space. Yeah, so it literally can throw things out of render range. That's how strong the Karkanos is. It's such a fun tame to have. Now, if you weren't bought that it could pick up things, it can pick up any medium tames. It can pick people off of their tames. So if someone's riding a Rock Drake, you can pick them. You can pick them off of a Megalo. But if the Megalo's on neutral, you're dead. Just accept death. But it can pick people and hold them in place, like you saw with the Anky. It has those attacks, it has the ability to throw, and it's got the ability to jump a mile. So you can get quite a bit of a distance off of it. It will take damage from falling, so just be aware of that. But it is a very good creature to cross the map with because of that ability to jump. If you look up at like 45 degrees, you can get a long ways with the Karkanos. Plus, some of them have some really neat colors to them, so they can be fun to breed now that they're breedable creatures. And you can get the babies as well. And they're pretty easy to tame. You just have to build a trap and knock them out. The Karkanos will help you get just about every resource you need with the Anky, Doedicarus, Rollat, because it can pick up all 3 of those things. And it's kind of just crazy. So this is the #1 creature that you need. I know it sounds weird, right? But I spend most of my time, if I'm not in a tech suit, on a Karkanos, just because I like how they move. It feels fun. I don't know why, it just feels better, especially when I'm playing solo player. If I'm not on my tech suit, I'm on a Karkanos, just because they're so much fun. And once you get like the jumping and stuff like that down, obviously I missed that one, it's just a blast. They are unique, they are fun, they can pick things and just eat them into oblivion. Rollat, even a wild tame. Bye. Now they can also pick Nameless. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Goodbye. It's so much fun. So anyways, this is a video that I'm just kind of trying to show you how to yeet things and why the Karkanos is the #1, because on a grinding map, this is your grinding best friend. So anyways, if you disagree, leave it in the comments below. Tell me what you think might be better, might be worse. Just let me know. I will try and respond and tell you why I selected the things that I selected, but it's up to you. So hopefully this video does help you out. And if you don't mind, leave a comment for that algorithm. Consider subbing to the channel, and then if you don't mind, smash that like button. All right, Teach out.